how do you increase the links to your site and the external content, right? So you've taken those, you've put all these newsletters together, now you've published the same stuff out on all these other sites. How do you improve the linking that comes between your website? Because remember, it's linking back to your website that's important. Well, one of the key things is you produce links from your newsletter, embedded in your newsletter, to each of these external sites, right? So once you've written your newsletter, now what you're going to do is you're going to direct people from that newsletter through links to your external. So links to YouTube, links to go articles, all of those things, right? So whatever you've written.
And they have that on a lot of these things now. Connect with me at Facebook, Twitter, everything. On AOL now it goes and it has here you can do this and this and this.
But the other thing is that every external article that you put out there, you want to have backlinks to your website, right?
And that's how Google finds you.
Right. What's a backlink now?
A backlink is, like for instance, what's your website called? ServPro, www.servpro.com. All right, so we would put out a newsletter, or we would put out an article on one of those external sites.
Squidoo or
whatever, whatever are listed there.
Sure.
But at the bottom of those articles, it always allows you to put down information about the author. And that's where you would embed in that information box about the author, you would say, this is written by Daryl of www.servpro.com.
Okay.
So when people read the article, if they want to find out more about you, they click that link and that directs them back to the website. Now, your situation is different because you've got a corporate website. But you may have the opportunity to put local websites together.
We do these,
right? So that's
our own.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you've got no restrictions. So here's what happens, right? So
just time.
We've released our newsletter. Now we're going to take that same content in the newsletter and we're going to put it out to these things, Easy, the script, Squidoo, Hub Pages, Go articles. And we're also going to put it out in the blog. And if we've got time, we'll put it out on YouTube. Now we direct people from the newsletter to all of these external content. So what do you think is the first thing that's going to happen when you start sending traffic to all of these areas? Just ask the question.
Wait, I just want to ask a question because I'm a little confused. So the newsletter directs them to my blog, but my blog doesn't have the newsletter on it?
It might do, but it might be a different publication. It might be, so for instance, it's difficult
it's just,
for the very first
you're
one.
just collecting links.
No,
link.
I just want to know, you don't want to be too redundant on everything that
No, you don't want to be sending them to the same information, but as you build this thing up, you could be directing people back the way to content that you wrote 2 months ago, for instance, right? So now you're directing people to these places. What do you think is going to happen around this?
Well, your search engine is going to start to respond.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Search engines are starting to see people come
Daryl's
to these
listening.
areas, right? Okay, so the search engines are going to start looking at this stuff. So
You're amazing, Les.
That's the key thing. That's the key thing. Now what you've done, you've essentially generated your own traffic. And because you've generated your own traffic, the search engines are going to start looking at it. We then have the backlinks from that back into your website, right? So the first thing that's going to happen now is that you've got all these backlinks coming in. Your search engine identification is going to improve because now they're seeing more links. Okay, but you've initiated that. You started